Good evening, all, and welcome to our first adventure tonight, which we're calling The Above. Before we get into it, as always, we're going to take a brief moment and introduce our heroes. Without further ado, we have coming back after a little bit of time since we've seen Tzi'jixk. Good evening, Tzi'jixk.
Hi, good evening.
Tell me, how are you? How are you enjoying your Carnival of Souls? I know things are a little bit shady at the mansion right now, but I guess up until that point.
Well, it was a nice summer, and I've been working on trying to remember being alive. I did a good job of it, and now things are getting a little cold. But you may remember that I've been having a voice talk to me, and ever since I came back, and well, there's kind of a feeling of revenge that I was having towards those who live in the Trash Kingdom, and in particular, well, and Tzi'jixk is going to hand you a folded up piece of paper. This is kind of the source of my powers, my feelings of vengeance, and it is a trinket, specifically trinket number 79, an invitation to a party where a murder happened. And so I came out here because maybe I could find a clue about what the voice is or what happened, or this seems kind of like a murdery party.
This has proven to be, well, the murdery part of it isn't necessarily clear. There's been a lot of disappearances. You're not sure if they're murders because you haven't found any bodies yet, but it has been, at least in terms of its vibe, a very murdery party. Have you found any clues for your own ends yet?
I feel a lot better, maybe a lot more stable. I'm still rather upset that I was crushed all those years ago by falling trash, but, well, we'll just have to see what happens if I ever can make it to the Trash Kingdom, and then we'll definitely see if the voice was right.
I fear the day that you do, for, well, the safety of some of the citizens there. But regardless, Tzi'jixk, I'm glad to hear that things are going relatively well, it sounds like, for you at the moment. Tzi'jixk, I have a question. Did you get a chance to take an item from Bartholomew's Take One bowl? And if so, what was that item?
Yeah, hold out your hand, and I'm gonna boop it with this candy wand, and now you have 1d4 pieces of candy.
Oh, delightful. And while you're doing that, I want you to note that I do have my wallet on a chain now, so.
No,
Nice. Don't
I
even
tried
think
to
about
distract you, but you're 2 steps ahead.
I finally caught on. Yeah, and thank you very much for the candy, though. That was very nice of you to share.
You're very welcome. And now at least your pocket's clean of lint.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that. That's actually a service. That might be something that you could, charge for, really, rather than taking. But welcome back, Tzi'jixk. Good to see you again. Next up, we have joining us Mr. Happy, the Killer Clown. I imagine very much in your element during this most scary time of year. We have Muldock Mutlam. Welcome back, Muldock.
Hey, how's it going?
I have a question, Muldock. Do you prefer to go by Mr. Happy, which appears to be your kind of stage name here?
Absolutely. That's it's what was known for in the carnival, and that's what I'm gonna go by from trying to from now on. Muldock's such a boring name.
Mr. Happy it is. So, Mr. Happy, tell me, how's your Carnival of Souls been?
And not so great. I mean, this isn't all that scary. I'm used to it. You should see how the carnival was back in the day. That's not what I'm here for.
What are you here for?
Well, you know, there's that little flower person named Sunny.
I'm familiar.
He took something from me. He took somebody from me. He took my friend, my personal best and most favorite friend from me.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
In what way? I mean, when you say took from you, do you mean they're now friends, or is it in a darker sense?
Well, I can bring them back.
No.
But it normally costs about 25,000 gold pieces. So.
Okay,
yeah.
I think I get what you're. I think I get what you're saying. I'm really sorry to hear that, Muldock. If it's any consolation to you, know that Sunny was disappeared somewhere within this terrifying manor. So
That's a shame, because I was hoping to find him.
well, I mean, perhaps wherever he is, Sunny is not in great shape, which might make you happy to hear. But hopefully, hopefully you do accomplish your goal.
Thank you.
Did you get a chance to take one from the take one basket?
Yeah, I just took more makeup.
Fair enough. Muldock, you're always kind of dressed in the finest of clown makeup as it is anyway, correct? I'm sorry, I keep saying Muldock, Mr. Happy.
Yes. Thank you. My Muldock is my Earth name. I don't go by that. No.
I'll do my best to try to remember that, Mr. Happy. And thanks for coming back. It's good to see you again.
Good to be back.
Next up, we have joining us the most charming of Galanodels, Freddie Galanodel. Hello, Freddie.
Hello, Pete. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you? How's your Carnival of Souls?
My Carnival of Souls is fantastic as always. However, I am missing a few of my family members. Not quite sure where they went.
That is troubling to hear. I'm sorry that some of the other Galanodels have up and, vanished here within the manor, but I'm sure they'll turn up eventually.
Yes, I thought that there were more missing, but turns out that one of them was in the bathroom, kitchen, It's very hard to keep track of your siblings when there's a dozen of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say you have so many brothers and sisters that it must be, losing brothers and sisters is probably not an uncommon thing for you, at least in short term.
That's a sensitive topic.
Yeah. Well, then I will not broach it any further. Instead, on the lighter side of things, did you get a chance to take one from the take one basket?
Yes, I did. I found this fantastic mirror.
Ooh, perhaps the Vampire's Vanity?
That is correct. Can't see myself in it, though.
Yeah, that's a strange thing about that. At least good for the looking around the environment and the terrain. You get to, look behind you, I guess. This is actually something I never thought of. I guess you could look behind you while looking straight at the mirror. So that's kind of cool.
Yes. You can also look around corners, around other people. You can see through a crowd to see if there are any undead in the crowd.
Yeah.
Hey, I see my reflection.
Oh dear. Let's not worry about that too much.
I'm slightly concerned.
Freddie, there's no need to be concerned. I'm sure that your, overwhelming charm, which you always grace us with, will, who would ever want to harm you, Freddie?
If I look at these spells, it says that this spell in particular doesn't affect undead or constructs.
Well, we'll worry about that when it comes down to it. But for now, Freddie, welcome back. It's lovely to see you again. And let's go on, last but not least, to Jade Twilight, the Shadow Dancer. Jade, you with us?
I'm here.
Excellent. Jade, hello. How are you this Carnival of Souls?
A lot better now that Sataria's missing.
You're not a big Sataria fan?
She's a slave for her. She won't let me have any fun, and she won't let me take it in the shiny. No.
Sotaria may not let you take any of the shinies, but I imagine Bartholomew will, as a reminder to all of you. While things are getting a little bit dire here, if you look around and are, seeking for any kind of gold to make on the side, Bartholomew is paying a hefty bounty for any kind of strange treasures that you guys are able to find throughout your adventure.
Ooh.
So Jade, you going to be on the lookout?
As long as I get paid.
Fair enough.
And I don't mean in Bartholomew bucks. You still owe me, you cheapskate with it.
In terms of that, you may end up being disappointed if you're looking for gold, because I do believe that that's all the old cheapskate wizard has. But Jade, tell me also, did you get a chance to take one from the take one bucket?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
I got the candy cane. It was pretty and shiny, and I get to hit things with it.
And pointy, I was going to say, yes. An excellent choice. the scariest of candy canes with its black and orange kind of more Carnival of Souls themed pattern on it. Jade, welcome back. It is a joy to have you tonight.
Good to be here.
And without further ado, let us hop into our adventure tonight. The group of you, along with a number of adventurers which have massively thinned out at this point. There are maybe only a dozen or two of you left here in kind of the central lobby where you're all kind of huddled together, waiting for, well, things to get figured out. Bartholomew has been sending adventurers around doing various tasks, but anyone who has ventured out so far has not been able to come back. And on that list of adventurers that have left includes Bartholomew now. He left a little while ago, chasing after a group of adventurers who had gone through a disintegrated hole in the wall, seeking Lemic, the presumed issue from what Bartholomew had told you, and the reason why everything in this illusion was going so haywire. So you've all been here for the last maybe 10 or 15 minutes in limbo, just Bartholomew gone. And suddenly, while you've been waiting, you begin to see the house change. The stairs, which were already Escher-like and, upon the ceiling and moving in all these strange directions, countless doors leading off into who knows what kind of chambers and labyrinths within. They begin to move and writhe. The shadows that are at the corner of every room begin to expand and kind of sweep tendril-like around, kind of reaching out and feeling. The darkness in the manor begins to spread into the center of the room where those adventurers that have not yet been disappeared, the four of you included, are currently, for lack of a better term, kind of huddled. And suddenly, from above on the balcony, you hear a loud crash as Bartholomew kind of dives winded through the door. You can hear what sounds like rumbling and kind of the collapsing of bookcases and, what sounds like a cackling and very derisive laughter coming through the door as it slams shut behind him. Bartholomew kind of looks back for a moment at the now closed door. Rights himself. He looks exhausted. His beard is kind of, frazzled in places as he looks down over the balcony at the group of adventurers still there, and he calls out, "Is everyone still okay here?"
I didn't do it.
I know. And Bartholomew kind of walks off the balcony and just slowly kind of floats down to the ground level where all of you are. "I'm glad you're all right. The house has become hostile. It turns out it wasn't Lemic all this time. It was, something of an old rival of mine. An individual by the name of Torflus Frombladuke. He's a master illusionist. He's created this entire space, this manor, from his own illusion magic. He is he's a force to be reckoned with, a master illusionist such as himself within their own illusion. This is his realm that he's created. His power is near unstoppable."
You mean that my sister in the very first adventure, when we first arrived, was correct?
Was that your sister's belief that this was an illusion?
Not that it was an illusion, that Lemic was innocent and that there was someone else, another powerful wizard responsible for this.
Yes, I suppose so then, if that is what your sister believes. And Bartholomew's kind of like looking around kind of panicked, and you see those shadows that were starting to get closer are growing kind of closer still. Bartholomew kind of holds his hand up, and you see as just a brilliant light kind of emerges and casts outwards, and some of those shadows hiss and kind of move back and are kind of pushed away as he lights up the interior here. But he kind of continues going on. "We don't have much time to act, and as you can see, our numbers have dwindled. Every adventurer was here at one point, but, Frombladuke has been isolating them and picking them off. At this point, he's just going to slowly whittle away at us. We have to make a stand at some point, and, the only way we'll ever be able to do that is to break the illusion."
Okay.
Sounds like fun.
Oh. Sorry.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Jade?
Oh, that sounds like fun. Can we get started?
Yes, please, if you wish to volunteer, then, well, I'll need more than just you. I'll need all of your help. And looks over at the rest of the kind of adventurers here as well. In order to stretch an illusion to its limits, if you occupy and move to physical spaces, you have to make it go to take up as many points as it actually can be observed by all of you. There are sections of the illusion, behind those doors, nothing exists until you move behind them, and then Frombladuke will be conjuring and creating the spaces as you walk through them. But if you go to the farthest corners all at once of this illusion, you might be able to stretch it, and while you're doing that, I'll work on breaking it and tearing apart from the inside. Any basic dispel magic would be nothing against this, but if you've stretched it thin, I might be able to do something.
Bartholomew, why don't you just leave the doors open?
Well, and that may be a good idea, but and Bartholomew kind of goes over to one of the doors with a mage hand. You see a large mage hand, not quite a big piece. Go up to it and open a door. As it kind of slows open and the mage hand disappears, you watch as the door just kind of just slams shut and recloses itself. He has an immense amount of control over this space. It is only your physical presences that will enable it to, stretch thin. So, and he kind of looks around. I need to send one of you, and he kind of, one group, and he kind of like points out to the front door, out into the forest beyond. One of you will have to go down, perhaps to the basement, and then he looks over the four of you. The four of you, why don't you go? And he kind of points upward to the attic.
All right, I'll help you defeat Toothless Gobbledygook. We're on.
Good. And there's no time to waste. And you watch as Bartholomew in the center of the room begins channeling a spell, and he just, becomes just a mask of focus, and as he's kind of like weaving arcane runes into the air, you see him like reaching at places. Lines of like threads of magic seem to reach out and touch at places in the manor as it's trying to pull it apart. But the shadows seem to be battling him as he begins this very elaborate dispelling magic. You watch as kind of the other groups all kind of resolutely begin stepping off and away towards their tasks. And the four of you, what do you do? Bartholomew has kind of like gestured as he was pointing to the attic. You can see high up above, like near the ceiling, there is what looks like a trap door with a string where like a ladder might come down. It's very high up, and in the Escher-like space, it's maybe like 100 feet above you.
I'm going to cast Fly on myself.
That is very effective in this instance.
And then I'm going to bonus action use a bardic inspiration to provide everyone with a mantle of inspiration. Everyone gets 5 temporary hit points and can use their reaction to movement. And then I will use my movement to fly up there.
All right.
Open the entrance to the attic.
Okay. As you kind of pull the string, you watch as an old-fashioned kind of like ladder comes down, and as it reaches downwards, it kind of like bends and starts to curve as it stretches out and down all the way the 100 feet down towards the floor. It's kind of like writhing and wriggling a little bit, but it's now at a place where all the four of you, Tzi'jixk, Jade, and Mr. Happy, I didn't say Muldock, can kind of reach up and climb onto it. But like I said, it's wriggling a bit. It's definitely a little unnerving. Meanwhile, you're up at the top, into the attic beyond. It's extremely dimly lit. There's like, you can see a couple of fragments of light, and with you have dark vision. You can see beyond, there's dusty interior. And it looks like a whole bunch of storage up here. No light.
Are there any torches, candles, or anything that could be lit easily?
I'm just describing kind of you looking in. If you want to like actually move in and start looking around, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can do that.
If so,
for now,
I'll just magic it on basically.
Okay. So you step into the space, and yeah, you see on a cloth-covered table, there's some like old, what looks like bird cages on it, and like a candelabra with a few candles that have already been almost waxed down to the nubs, and all of those kind of light up and create a very small bit of light in the space. Those of you who are on the ground, there's this weird jiggly ladder leading up to the attic. What do you guys want to do?
Climb.
All right.
Same.
You all begin kind of your ascent upwards into this space. Same for you, Mr. Happy, I assume.
Absolutely.
As your hands kind of rest on the rungs, they have give to them. Aesthetically, they appear to be made out of wood, but they kind of like squish a little bit, almost like they're, flesh or rubber. And as you're moving your way up, the ladder starts to kind of like sway and move side to side. Freddie, from where you are, you can see it's kind of like beginning to build up momentum and almost try and like start to throw them off. As this ladder begins to go, I would like you all to make me strength saving throws, unless you have some kind of strategy that you want to employ to try and like hang on to this thing, in which case you're welcome to do that.
I have a strategy.
How do you, what's your move?
Oh, well, I'm just gonna see that the thing's starting to move, and nope. Teleport above. Farther up.
All right, so you want to get up to the top. Yeah, as soon as you climb up maybe like 30 feet or so, and then as soon as it starts to like get a little bit too jiggly around the middle, you just misty step and you get up right by the door. Tzi'jixk, Jade?
When it's doing a little jiggle and a wiggle here, how much further until the entrance it's going in?
It's getting bad to that point at about halfway up the ladder, and then it's not as bad towards the top. It's like the middle of it's kind of like stretching and bending.
Is that
so about 50 feet? Yeah.
Feline agility.
You're just gonna try and like just go really fast and zip through it?
Yep.
All right. How does that work again? You like double your speed? Is that the case?
Yep.
All right. Instead of having to make the strength saving throw, if you can do it quick enough, I'll say make an acrobatics check with an advantage, and if you succeed, you'll just negate the saving throw. You won't have to make it. 24. Yeah, no problem. You watch as Jade just kind of nimbly with their feline agility, just hand over hand, as soon as the ladder starts to shake, just zips up the ladder at lightning pace. Tzi'jixk, what's your move?
I want to. I'm going to continue climbing. Athletics, or so? No, you said a strength saving throw, not a.
Yeah, just to not get thrown off, unless you have some kind of extra move that might help you get through it.
No.
Nothing comes to mind. All right, yeah, just go ahead and make me a strength check. 14's enough anyway. You manage to hold on as it rings around. There's a point where you almost feel like you're about to just get zipped over to the side. It kind of whips around to the other way, and it's trying to almost like throw you into one of the walls. You can see other stairs and stuff starting to like lean up to like create space for you to smash into, but you hold fast and stick yourself in the middle of the ladder, and as you rung over rung work yourself the rest of the way up, you eventually reach the top alongside of your allies, all of you safe and unharmed.
That was my little bun paws.
And as you kind of step in, you can see that Freddie has already kind of taken this candelabra and is kind of holding it out and beginning to cast a little bit of light over the space. You climb up to Zix, and as you kind of enter in from the trapdoor closes, and you watch as shadow begins to kind of course up and over it. Shadow that seems to have an almost physical presence to it.
Is there a light here? I do not have dark vision.
There is only the dim light of this kind of candelabra that Freddie has lit over on kind of a table. If you want to pick that up, it would act as like, essentially a torch here, if you want to hold on to that.
Okay, shield in one hand and candelabra in the other then.
Very well. And you come into the attic. Dust and cobwebs kind of litter themselves throughout the space. As I said, there's a lot of things are covered over in thick white cloths, and the shadows here, just as they were downstairs, but perhaps even fiercer here in the darkness, as you kind of... does everyone else have dark vision?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So you're the only one without here. The shadows, those of you with dark vision are able to see this more clearly, perhaps for you who's only using the light of this torch here to see through. As you move it, they're kind of like, recoiling a little bit away, but they are, again, moving with physical presence here in the darkness. And you find yourselves here now. The space is large, but you can see it seems maybe larger than the house looked like the size of the attic should be in this house from the outside, but not massive, not labyrinthine as some of the other kind of stranger rooms in this place kind of have proven to be. The only light coming into the room is on the far side. There's a simple circular window with one kind of crosshatch on it, and a streak of moonlight comes in, lighting the floor beyond it, and what looks like it looks like there's like an old easel with a covered painting nearby there, and it just looks like this might be Frombladuke's old storage here in the attic. What do you all want to do? I know Bartholomew told you to just go up and then just kind of push the boundary to its limits.
Jade is searching any and all boxes.
All right, so Jade's gonna start kind of looking around. Everyone else?
I'm going to video game crash the graphic setting.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just get as many objects moving around as possible.
Interesting.
So I'm going to basically, in Halo, this would be like you throw a grenade in a pile of guns and the game crash.
I get
In
what you're
this
getting at.
illusion, I'm shattering a bunch of boxes.
So you're gonna go around and just start smashing boxes.
With the spell Shatter.
Yeah. So you begin doing that. What are Tzi'jixk and Mr. Happy doing?
Well, are there
rafters or something up?
Rafters above? Yeah, there's a line of rafters that kind of go across a few kind of cross beams there. But it doesn't seem to there doesn't seem to be any way further up or onto the roof. But you can get a little bit higher up here if you want to. With your bunny hop, you could easily just jump up onto them.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question, is how high up are they, if I could just bunny hop, or if I have to
Yeah,
try and
not a
put a little
problem.
okay, yeah, then I'll bunny hop with the candelabra as well up into the rafters, because again, if we're trying to stretch out the space, I want him to think about what is in the rafters, the light playing off of all the objects that are up here, because in this case, I'm thinking that's an advantage I have, is because I have to have light. Light has to bounce off of everything, as opposed to people with dark vision who just see or don't see what they see. So I'm going to go up above, and I'm just going to bunny hop rafter to rafter. And I'll check things out, but I also want to, make sure everything's lit up, and, and I'm looking for clues or also valuable items.
Yes. So you're doing that, and then last but not least, Mr. Happy. What's your kind of first strategy?
Are there any doors or any exits of any kind of this area?
The only one that you see is that window over on the far side of the room.
Alrighty, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. See you in the next life, everybody. I'm gonna get my clown bike. I'm gonna get on my clown bike, and I'm gonna rush out the window.
All right. So while this is happening on, so let me go back through everything one at a time. For starters, Jade and Tzi'jixk, I want you to both make me investigation checks. All right, nice. So Jade, you find a very interesting chest. You're looking around, and for the most part, there's boxes, there's things covered up. You take off a few cloths, and they have, paintings and things like that underneath them, stuff that's valuable, but maybe nothing that, Bartholomew would consider valuable, and no sign of, no like edge of the illusion, no, fabric that looks like it could be torn apart, until you come to this one very large chest, and as you go to open it, it doesn't look like, you didn't think of it as maybe this was the one, but as you go to open it, you hear a voice off to the side kind of say, "Please don't open that." What do you do?
Look for the voice.
You kind of look around, and you don't see anything. There's nothing really that catches your eye. And then as you are obviously searching for the source of it, the voice kind of calls out again, "Right here." And you can see a doll resting on the chair. It's old. You can see it only seems to have one eye. The hair is kind of like matted and dusty, and it's wearing kind of a simple dress, and it's just sitting there on the chair, porcelain face. Its mouth doesn't move as it speaks.
Evil doll. Evil talking doll.
"Please leave it closed. They make so much noise."
What makes so much noise?
And she kind of looks over at the chest that you're in front of, and it seems to be like a toy chest. As you're now kind of looking on it, there's some like very childish looking, writing and pictures on it. And she says, "The others, I kept them in there, so it's quiet out here."
I see.
And as she's discussing quiet, on the other side of the room, there's a big explosion, as Freddie, you're blowing up crates and just anything that you can find. And as you shatter, you're not just destroying kind of like crates and boxes and stuff. You see as pieces of the wall are starting to get kind of destroyed and knocked away. As you kind of do this first kind of explosion, you can see, like, obviously the crates are completely decimated, but alongside of it, some of the siding that makes up the wall is destroyed, and you can see out into the night, where in the sky is this kind of like purple twisted melange. You can see like the forest raising up black and monolithic in the distance, the trees kind of like bending and shaking. And you can see the terrifying conditions of the space, the illusory realm that you're kind of caught in. And you can see above you stars of all different colors seem to kind of, bend and just menace, glittering ever onward, higher up into the night sky.
Yeah, we'll say that was the northwest corner.
I have a very clear image of, in terms of like, it would be the southwest corner.
Southwest corner. Okay.
Yeah, back of the attic.
Fine. So the northwest and the southeast corners, are any allies in either of those two spaces?
The northwest would be where Mizra's talking to this doll right now.
Okay, then I am going to the southeast corner. How long is the south in total?
How long is the
siding of the south wall of this attic?
It is about 50 feet across.
50 feet across, and shatter is a 10-foot radius.
That is correct.
I have 2 more uses of shatter. I want to blow out.
Very well. Okay, so you do that first shatter, you kind of take some time and line it up, and there's this big explosion as part of the wall gets kind of blown away. And one thing that you do notice happen, what's your passive perception? You would almost definitely notice that.
My passive perception with Jack of all trades is 11.
Okay, 11. Yeah, it's not crazy hard. As the wood and stuff scatters outwards into the night, a lot of it kind of, it falls down, but you watch some of the wood also seem to just like fall upwards and get like sucked upwards into the night sky.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, on top of the up on top of the banisters up here, the cross beams, we have Tzi'jixk. You're kind of looking around and trying to find some stuff. You do catch up here. There is what looks like an old projector that you kind of walked by when you're down there, and here you can see a box that's filled with projector reels as you're just kind of looking, that was just shoved up on this crossbeam, and among them you're kind of like going through and seeing if you can find anything particularly noteworthy among them. Most of them have labels that have been scratched off or are gone. Some of them are just destroyed and the film is all over the place. But one that you kind of come across as you're kind of like reading it, there is a label that you're able to catch, and it is The Secret Circle, and it is in a much nicer casing. And as you open it up, within you can see there appears to be a very beautifully carved stone disc with all of these kind of like runes and different letterings in it. It appears to be perhaps one of Bartholomew's treasures that you have found, as you have encountered the rune circle. There's also just a bunch of projector reels up here, if that's something that you're interested in, Null.
Well, I will definitely, I may be a rabbit, but I'll squirrel away the Bartholomew's treasure. Am I familiar with projector reels, or is this foreign to Tis?
I think that's a choice that you can make. This is a technology that you might have encountered in Central City. But I think it's up to you whether or not you think Tzi'jixk would have interacted with something like this.
I would say no, I'm not familiar. However, I am holding a light source, so if I'm investigating, am I seeing that the light is the light like passing through what we would call cells, like creating little images?
Indeed, that is exactly what's happening. You can see, perhaps not quite projecting them in a comprehensible way, but you can tell that lighting this kind of creates an image. Although it's without using the projector, it's tough to make out what those images are. But you get a little bit of the idea, I think, from that.
Oh. I'll stay up here and play with it to see if I can, I imagine I see that the images are changing slightly, bit by bit. I'd like to see what I can glean from this.
All right, so you're going to take your time and kind of look over this. Meanwhile, down here on the ground floor, Mr. Happy, you've been kind of just on your bike, and while everyone's kind of going around doing things, you've been there kind of getting your bike, you check it a couple of times, you make sure the wheels are ready, you sit down on the seat, you get your hands on the pedals, and you look over at the window. And then you begin to pedal towards it, accelerating as quickly as you can as you do so. And this tiny clown bike begins to move at a breakneck speed towards the window. What are you doing? You're crashing through. Is that your goal?
We were told to shatter the illusion, and I'm going to shatter the illusion.
Excellent.
By shattering the window. Clearly.
See, but here I am, actually shattering the illusion with the shatter spell.
Well, this is a braver shatter. And Mr. Happy, I would like you to make me an athletics check.
Okay.
To crash through this window. I was trying to think if there's any other skill, but I think it's definitely athletics to just try and slam through this window on your bike.
I personally want to see a performance.
I would actually also, never mind, I would give you proficiency in land vehicles if you had that.
Oh, I do have performance.
This is definitely not performance. This is power strength, but I would give you proficiency in land vehicles. But athletics, I think, is the one.
You sure this isn't me training in my awesome stunts as a performance?
You could make a performance check to see if your allies are entertained when you crash into a wall as part of your comedy act as a clown.
He doesn't need to do that for Freddie. Freddie pain.
But for now, make me an athletics check as you're trying to crash through a wall. 12. Okay. You begin biking towards it, and you're accelerating and building up speed. And as you do, you slam into it. As you do, you're going to take 6 points of miscellaneous bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage. As the window shatters and kind of breaks, you go up into a wheelie and like get one of the wheels to hit into it, and your impact's enough to like break open the window. What it's not enough for is to like break open the window and kind of like jump out and get out into the night, but you do smash this window as you crash your bike into it.
Hold on, wait. Nope, I'm gonna break that window.
Well, you break the window. You just don't go out. You don't go out.
No, I'm safe. I'm saving face though. I feel the ability check.
I'm saying, so you want to just crash straight through and out of it, so you're just flying out now. All right. So as you save face, I thought it was only an attack roll thing. I didn't know it was ability checks too. Nice. Everyone's just kind of like turning over and looking as you go up to this point, and you're like, well, I can't mess this one up. And so you end up with that, an extra +6, right? Putting you at an 18?
It would be +5, I believe, is the maximum, but still like
+5, so 17, yeah. And you crash through this window, and you guys all watch as Mr. Happy flies out the window and into the evening. You still take that 6 points of damage from crashing and flying through the window, but you make it out of the house, and the glass kind of shatters and flies upwards, and some of it kind of falling down, and you begin to move up.
Okay.
And as you move outside, you can see that gravity here is a little bit strange. And as much as you expect to just fall down to your death, I think, after this one, as you're trying to shatter the illusion, you begin to instead not fall, but just kind of float as the bike that you're on is just kind of like now spinning in the air. You're just kind of, treading and spinning the wheels as you awkwardly just kind of float in what seems like no gravity outside here. And around and to the side of you, above you, looking upwards, you can now see the moon. And the moon that's casting its light down upon you and through the window there, it seems to have a face on it. Its eyes which were looking off in a random direction. As soon as you begin kind of floating up into the sky, its eyes change and shift and look towards you. And you see a smile that was already eerie on the sides of it begin to curl upwards, exposing very human-looking teeth. As the moon looks down at you and grins.
What you looking at?
The grin just kind of widens ever so slightly to an impossible and inhuman length. And out in the sky, that's where Mr. Happy is. Meanwhile, Mizra, there's a doll talking to you.
If we were to leave and leave you back to your quietness and not mess with this box, you would be fine, right?
The doll kind of looks at you, thinks for a while. I like friends, just not loud ones.
Yeah, unfortunately, all of our companions are kind of a little bit on the loud side. She really doesn't like creepy talking dolls.
You can be quiet. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit.
8. And as soon as she says that, you find that your body just sort of seizes up. You can't move your arms and legs, and you're just standing there motionless. And as you just stand there with your mouth now shut, unable to even speak or move, the doll just kind of, see? It's easy. There's another explosion from the back of the chamber as Freddie, you take out the third part of the wall as you've been kind of going through. The roof of the building, at this point, as you kind of have done, I think it took you 3 shatters to make all this, to get all the way across, correct?
Since you said it was 50 feet, yes.
Yes. So
there would have been 10 feet of wall left if I only.
Yeah, I assume you want to do all 3 though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So on the third one, as you blow out the corner, the roof of the building, as you're hitting a lot of it with the shatter, you're getting the top as well. In places, some of the support beams have gone down, and the roof is just blown off. And you can see big chunks of roof that have now like flown away and are floating up into the starry sky beyond. And as you're kind of, looking back around, you had just seen Muldock go out the window. You can see behind you, Mr. Happy is on his bike, just kind of spinning and floating in the sky. And he's looking up. He's too far away at this point for you to like make it out, but he's looking just up into the sky and saying something. And I think at this point, you can also see this terrifying moon that is looking down away from you. I'll
go fly towards Mer.
You're gonna fly out the building and up?
I still have the spell, fly.
Oh yeah, I know, that lasts like 10 minutes or
10
something,
minutes,
right? Yeah, you're totally fine.
It's been less than a minute.
It's been probably a little bit more than that. I mean, there's some just like looking around and assessing time, but you're fine on time.
I flew up, I prestidigitations, and then 3 so that's 5 times 6, that's half a minute.
I'm just saying there's like, definitely, I think there was some like, understand the space-time in there. But
space-time continuation errors.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless, Tzi'jixk, there's a lot of stuff that now things have been definitely like kicked into the next kind of gear around here. You're over there, you're kind of like looking at the projection, you're hearing these like explosions around you, one of your allies flies out and crashes through the window, and you can see Jade below, who's locked into this statuesque posed, unmoving and unblinking. What are you doing right now, Tzi'jixk?
I'm not the kind of bard that can counter charm, but I would like to dispel the moon.
All right, well, we'll come back to that, because that's what you were flying upwards, but Tzi'jixk, because that hasn't done anything at the moment.
Have I been able to glean anything from the photos? Does anyone look familiar, or is there something... do I see a weird moon or something like
as you're looking through, there are some familiar things in it. You appears to be a film of some wizards. And one of them looks a lot like Bartholomew.
Well, Bartholomew would probably pay for his memories. So I would like to slide the reel into my backpack as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the roof is blown off. There's a big leering moon, and
there's a paralyzed ally.
Is like paralyzes, and she's like fallen over and is like wobbling like a plate on the floor, or.
Not quite that, just like imperfect statue motion, still standing upright.
Does Tzi'jixk see the doll?
I think so, yeah. The doll hasn't moved at all, it's still sitting in the chair, but I think you heard it talk before, and you definitely overheard Jade saying something about a doll. Okay. There is a strong presence of undead, for one thing, coming from the box of projector reels that you're currently holding on to. And additionally, all of those like shadows and everything about this illusion definitely gives that off. The doll itself seems to be among those things that are giving off a very powerful presence of evil. This entire place is also definitely desecrated.
Okay, evil. Evil certainly, but undead or fiend. or...
Undead in its nature.
Okay.
I show up as undead as well. So, because
all right.
because clown makeup, or the makeup of whatever.
Oh,
the
you
thing
have
that makes
you
look
have
like-
the undead makeup on right now. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I will hop down next to Jade. And do I have an action left, or is my action to continue scanning, or was that a retroactive what I learned and now you're catching me up?
No, I think I think you can do one more thing, and then after that, I think we're gonna roll for initiative.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff popping off at once here.
Then I will aid her and try and give her advantage on her next saving throw. Kind of, hey.
All right, yeah, you kind of go over and begin to like shake Jade. Jade, you're just transfixed in place. And with that, I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just have a 16. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, but you're floating. You didn't want to go first.
All right. In that case, weirdly enough, the first one to act is going to be the doll. The doll, you're kind of begin to go over and shake Jade, and you hear this voice emanate from this doll that's resting on the chair here, and it says, "Hey, leave my doll alone." And Tzi'jixk, I would like you to also make me a wisdom saving throw. 17. For a brief moment, you have this incredible urge to just drop down to the ground and just kind of, completely cease your current course of action, but you kind of hold on at this instance. And the doll gets kind of very frustrated by this, and you see them kind of just go, "Stop it!" I would like that to bring us to the next initiative, which is going to be Mr. Happy. You're floating on a bike in space. There's a scary moon looking at you.
Clearly, the only option is to punch the moon. Obvious.
The moon's kind of high above you right now, so do you have a way to basically get to it?
How far is the moon?
The moon currently just seems to be the moon.
Like, how far away? That's the question.
It looks like the moon.
Oh, it just looks like the moon?
Yeah.
Okay. Then if I'm gonna get there, I need to go fast. So, fast time it is. I'm gonna get a clown car and do super speed towards the moon.
Okay. One question I have for you is, you are currently so this is going to let you do the dash as a bonus action. You're currently floating in zero gravity. How are you building up your momentum to go forward? Because right now you just kind of are treading your bike wheels in the sky, floating about and spinning and not having any purchase.
Oh, so I can't actually move?
Yeah, unless you have some way floating. So unless you have some way to push off, you could try and rocket yourself off of your bike, or do some way to propel yourself forward. How do you do that?
Oh, okay, then I guess I was misunderstanding. No problem.
Yeah, you're in zero grav essentially.
In that case, then I'm just gonna go back inside, just chill out.
Oh, okay. In that case, you misty step and you go back into the house beyond. That's gonna bring us to the next initiative, which is Jade. I would like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Lovely.
You succeed. The kind of paralysis that was beginning to take, that's good. You have a -1 too. It's a nice roll. The paralysis that was beginning to kind of take hold over you, you flex your body and you move out of it, kind of breaking it. The doll, as they look at you, stop moving, and they seem pretty upset.
Jade's pretty upset too. She's not happy at all.
What do you want to do? Oh, I'm sorry. You're no longer under the effects of this ability at the end of your turn.
Okay. Wait. Quick question before anything else. Can I move or no?
Unfortunately, not. You end your turn right next to this doll still.
Damn it.
And now that's going to bring us to. Was it Freddie or Tzi'jixk next? It was Freddie. Freddie, what do you want to do?
You're nothing but a doll, abandoned by a child in the hall. I'm gonna vicious mockery that porcelain.
That old doll. Doll's going to succeed with a 14. The DC should not be 10, I assume.
Yeah, 8 plus proficiency, which is 2, plus charisma, which is 4. So it is exactly 14.
Okay, good to know. So yeah, the doll succeeds. As you kind of make fun of it, it goes, "You too?" That's going to bring us to...
And I'm the loudest.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's...
all. And I'm going to Mantle of Inspiration once again. If anyone lost any of my temporary hit points that they got, you get them back, and you can move.
Yeah.
Would any of you like to move?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Where do you want to move, all of you?
I'm backing up away from that doll.
Okay. You kind of retreat and move away. Tzi'jixk, do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to move?
Yeah, I want to stay by the doll.
Okay. And Mr. Happy?
I want to move towards that doll.
All right. You get right up next to it. As we move next initiative 2, you roll a critical failure, so I think that's actually going to be the moon next. And the moon, you guys are all back in the house. Freddie, yeah, you guys are all back in the house. So you can't see the moon from where you're looking.
I'm 60 feet from the doll, between the doll and the moon.
Well, you have to go down a little bit to look into the house.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess so if you're floating, you're floating outside the house, but looking away, is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, you can see the moon starting to get larger and move down towards you. And the moon has eyes. After Muldock went back inside, its eyes have now turned towards you, and it's continuing that terrible grin. And it's just kind of floating and getting larger, and you can hear it kind of as it gets closer to you.
Nice.
And that's all. It's not in range for anything yet. That's going to bring us next in initiative 2.
Tzi'jixk?
Now it is Tzi'jixk. What do you want to do?
I want this is even to me as a small bunny folk. This is a small doll. Would I have to kneel to kind of talk to it?
The doll is resting on a chair, so it's kind of right at your head height.
You poor thing. I was a broken and abandoned thing for a while too. Tell me, how can I help you?
Don't bother.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. 10. The doll kind of looks over at you and says, "You're a liar, just like all the rest. You're not going to help me."
No, I'm not a liar. I was broken as well, but I got fixed. I can fix you too. Would you like help?
The doll seems a little bit unswayed by you at this point.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
The persuasion is my action, I presume, yes?
Yeah, but you still have a bonus, sir.
Nope, that's all.
In that case, that's going to bring us to the top of the initiative, which is the doll. And right as they say "You're like all the rest of them," kind of looks over at the toy box, and then just all of a sudden you see the lock on it flip up, and the toy box opens, and out of it begins to pour a collection of items. You see what looks like a bunch of like rubber snakes. Some toy soldiers kind of start hop, 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 and like kind of climbing up and over the side. You hear kind of like a dun, 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 as like a jack-in-the-box begins just kind of like hopping up and over and into the space as a whole gaggle of toys fly out. That is the action to open it, and those toys are also going to do some stuff. That pack of rubber snakes is going to come over and slither out, and as they do so, you can see they start to like move a little bit more kind of like competently and become less and less looking like more of their toy counterparts, and they are going to come after you, Tzi'jixk, and go to bite at you. That's a roll to GM. That's an 11. I assume that misses you?
Correct.
And then these toy soldiers, they all begin kind of like rolling out, and they all begin kind of like rolling out, and they move over to you, Mr. Happy, and they are going to jump up, and they begin to kind of like swarm on top of you.
Okay.
And that's also the GM, so we're gonna roll it again. And they have pack tactics, so these are actually at advantage. That's a 13.
Oh, that wouldn't hit.
And then a 17. There's two kind of packs of toy soldiers here.
Well, you know, normally that would hit, but not today.
You're gonna throw up a shield spell as they go up and kind of as they go and kind of jump up onto you. You see they're kind of like climbing over your body and trying to like pull you down, but you throw up a protective barrier and they get lashed down back to the ground as it moves on. Oh wait, and then the this creature is gonna go. You watch as that jack-in-the-box, the box is just kind of like bounding along the ground and kind of moving into a place, and it's going to move over towards, it's moving right past you, Tzi'jixk, and starting to move over towards you, Jade, and it is going to roll. And as it does so, I need you guys to make me dexterity saving throws, and that's actually going to be Muldock, and it doesn't get to Jade, so it's going to be Muldock and Tzi'jixk, who are very close, and the doll. The doll automatically fails; it can't move. And the as it kind of all of a sudden the top of it kind of pops up, and you can see inside of it, it appears to just be like an old cartoonish looking bomb on a fuse, with a fuse kind of counting down, which explodes there in the space for 26 points of fire damage as it erupts outwards. Both of you succeeded on the saving throw, so you only take half of that, down to 13. The doll automatically fails and takes the full 26, and you see it kind of burns, but the magical energy which keeps it alive prevents it from being completely consumed by the flames. You can also see down kind of around in the space, a lot of those toy soldiers just get completely burned up by this first explosion, which the bomb didn't seem to have much control over. And then the thing kind of closes, and you see it starts to wind up again. That's going to be all for those enemies' turns as we move now to you.
Quick question.
Happy. Yes.
I use fighting style protection, and while mechanically it does not offer any benefits versus a save, I would still at least go through the motion to try and interpose my shield between the fireball and the doll that I'm trying to talk up.
So you're using your reaction to not do the thing, but to look like you're doing the thing.
Yeah, there's not a mechanical D&D benefit to it, but I would like it known that I'm at least attempting.
Okay, understood. All right, we'll keep that in mind. So you do that, and that's going to bring us to... that's going to bring us to Mr. Happy. What do you want to do?
Okay, Hey, Tzi'jixk. And I'm gonna whisper to Tzi'jixk, hey, look at this. And I'm gonna pull out my Terry the Tarrasque.
Remind me what that does.
Zuzip showed me hers.
Okay, so what happens?
So anybody who's not looking at it, and I'm assuming Tzi'jixk is looking at it, has to make a DC 14 saving throw, wisdom saving throw, as long as they're within 120 feet of it. And if not, they become frightened for a minute.
All right. So I think everyone but Tzi'jixk needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would like everyone but Tzi'jixk to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw. And those shoulders are all gone.
Is this a charm kind of effect?
This would be a
It doesn't say. It's a fright.
This wouldn't be a charm. And the doll is going to make one. Wisdom save, and then the moon can't see it.
So if it can't see it and it's within 120 feet, but
That's very strange. Oh wait, no, I get it now. Okay, cool. Oh wait, the moon should have had a higher bonus, but it doesn't matter. It still fails. All right, yeah, the moon and the doll both fail. That's actually very crippling for the moon. And that's all that's going to be on your turn, I assume. It's an action.
that's my action. Yes.
Cool. All right. In that case, the doll is not afraid, but the moon is absolutely afraid. And that's going to bring us to Freddie. What do you want to do, Freddie?
What about the box?
Yeah. What about the box and all the little toy solgers and
They all
snakes
took
and
their
everything?
turns at the same time as the doll.
Gone, right?
The soldiers are gone. The box has to make a wisdom saving throw. You're correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
The box fails, and the snakes also get completely blown up by that blast, as they were not meant to be there when it happened.
All right. Huh.
What do you want to do?
That's a good question. What do I want to do?
There's a big moon above you. It looks
There.
a little bit reticent. It's like grinning, but like behind its now big eyes that are staring at you, it seems to have a strange fear.
Yeah. I mean, that Terrascale was scary. I think that I'm a little bit afraid as well.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Mechanically.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dispel magic that doll. I don't like that doll anymore.
All right. Go ahead and make me an ability check.
It is higher than
Oh yeah.
DC equal 10 plus spells, so ability check using a spell.
No, this is not an easy DC by any means, but go ahead and give it a shot. It is possible.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's not going to get there. You go and get ready to dispel the magic that's animating this doll. However, you are unable to connect. It seems that as much as anything, it is Torflus Frombladuke's magic that animates this entire space. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action Healing Word on one of the people that just ate the fireball.
All right. You want to throw that to Tzi'jixk or Mr. Happy?
To Mr. Happy, and I add my charisma, so it's 5.
All right, you gain 5 points of health back, Mr. Happy.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that is going to bring us to Jade. Jade, you are no longer paralyzed. You've stepped away. There's a jack-in-the-box that just exploded walking back around towards you.
Yeah, but she's also scared, and basically she looks like a cat that basically looks like a fraidy cat right now. Hair standing
Fair
up,
enough.
missing, completely terrified, and is not very happy right now. She is going to, let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. She's taking out her short swords. And
Your short sword's drawn.
And she is going to basically go after that box before it goes boom. Before it goes boom again.
Are you frightened right
actually,
now?
Wait.
Yeah,
Actually,
you can't get
I
closer
forgot.
to it because you're frightened. Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I forgot. She's gonna be a Freddie cat and she's gonna jump out the window.
Oh, you're gonna go backwards and you're gonna go back out through the big hole that Freddie made?
Yep.
All right. Do you want to jump outwards? Because there's not a lot of room to like stand on, but you can tell that you could float if you jump.
I was actually gonna see if I can get outside and climb on the side of the house, if possible.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. Or acrobatics. I'll let you pick. All right, 10, yeah. You run and you begin to kind of like climb upwards, but as you're climbing up on top of the house, just weirdly the lack of gravity kind of throws you off. You're used to certain acrobatic movements, and as you do so, you kind of go to throw yourself up, and then you begin to kind of like float whimsically upwards and into the sky above at kind of a strange angle. With a 10, and you're now moving upwards towards another very scary thing, which is the moon. And that's where you will be. That's just a movement action. You can still take an action as you're floating up towards the moon, and that's not a direction that you're afraid of. So you still have an action, I'll say.
Okay, so booming blade.
All right. What are you?
At the moon.
All right, you're not quite in range. You're close to it, but you'd have to make a range attack against the moon. Sorry to keep, cramping your style on this.
Yes, you are. But I'm also not used to playing Jade here. In that case, she's gonna hold her action.
Okay, you're gonna hold your action to attack if the moon gets close enough?
Yep.
All right, cool. You get ready. In that case, that's going to bring us next in initiative to the moon. It's the moon's turn. The moon seems to want to come downwards, but it's too afraid to do so because of this terrifying Tarrasque noise it heard. It doesn't seem to want to get any closer. So instead, it is going to... you watch as... Oh, let me see what it can do here. It's going to roll 3d6. You watch as from the moon, tendrils of shadow begin to kind of move out from the sides of it in very similar patterns. And Jade, as you're now looking at the moon, which is also looking at you, it reminds you, in some ways, it's very beholder looking. And it doesn't have quite so many eye stalks, though. And the moon is going to reroll one of those. All right. And it fires down at you, Jade. From its kind of gigantic kind of tendrils of shadow, a great beam of light flies towards you. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. You've disadvantaged because you're floating. But you can still kind of like wiggle your body around. 9's not going to cut it. You get struck by a ray of devour magic. Magic items that you're carrying have lost their properties for a short time. So if you're carrying magic items, they're currently not magical. I don't think you are.
Yep.
All right. I also need you to. The other ones are going to be. I also need you to make me a wisdom saving throw. Oh, the normal candy cane. Your candy cane is now regular. And also, you fall asleep. The other one doesn't do anything at this time. Actually, I'm sorry, the other one flies down and smashes into the roof of the house. And you watch as a big portion of the roof just gets blown away and destroyed. And you can all now very clearly see the moon bearing down on you. Going to make a wisdom saving throw to not be frightened, which it no longer is, and the moon is able to act normally. That's going to move us next in initiative to Tzi'jixk.
Was I supposed to make a wisdom save at the end of my turn?
You were. You are still
Nope.
frightened, unfortunately. Tzi'jixk, what do you want to do?
Still by the doll. Please, look, my friend's gone. The place is coming down. There's a giant moon getting ready to crash on us all. I could really use a friend right now. Now whether it could be willing. If not, I don't know if it's a save versus my save of 13. But
Okay.
I'd like to reach out and sort of, like try and hold its hand in this moment of desperation where I'm alone, all this stuff is happening, and try and embolden this doll to help it be a friend of mine.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. Between this and the other one, I'll give you a persuasion check with advantage. 21. All right. The doll kind of looks at you, and it seems to calm itself a little bit. And it goes, "You really want to be my friend?"
Yes, please. I would love friends.
And the doll kind of like looks over. But that's actually, it's the doll's turn. The doll looks over and
Real quick, one more thing as a bonus action.
yes.
I would like to take out a plastic wand topped with the likeness of Bartholomew and make some
Give it some
candy.
candy.
And offer it some candy also.
Oh, all right, you give the doll some candy. The doll kind of can't really move, but it's in front of the doll is completely unmoving. But you put the candy like down in front of the doll. But you see, all of a sudden, the doll kind of speaks up and goes, "All right, go back." And the Jack in the Box, which was starting to kind of wind up again, just flies over, and the toy chest slams shut. And that is going to be the doll's action for this round, is removing that foe, and also not doing anything to harm you guys, as the doll seems to have calmed down completely. There's still a terrifying moon bearing down on you, though, as that's going to bring us next initiative to Mr. Happy. What do you want to do?
So that was a really scary noise, and there's a big moon coming after us. Will you help us with that? To the doll.
The doll doesn't really seem to. The doll doesn't seem to super react to that at the moment, because I mean that's all the doll could do was take the one thing away. You're uncertain where the doll stands, but I won't make you take your action to have said that.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. All right. Well, in that case, just to make sure and be a little careful, I'm gonna do this real quick. Should I do that one or should I do the other one? I'll do this one. But it didn't roll.
Oh, you're creating illusory duplicates of yourself. All right, you illusions kind of pan out and around you. All right.
That's mirror image. If you don't know, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure that it worked the way I thought it did. All right, yeah. Mirror Mr. Happy's begin to dance around you in a probably a terrifying manner, as all of these scary clowns are now circling around you. That's going to move us next initiative to Freddie. What do you want to do, Freddie?
I'm gonna fly over to Mizra's character.
Okay, you go over to Jade, who's kind of floating in midair.
You can grapple them.
Do you allow yourself to be grappled? Jade?
Huh?
Are you cool with Freddie grabbing onto you?
Yes.
All right, cool. You grab Jade.
I actually technically don't really have much of a choice. I'm kind of asleep.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So you wake up. Jade wakes up as soon as you get grabbed onto, of course.
Okay, I'm fine.
How's your nap?
Can I go to sleep? I see a horrible moon thing and a horrible doll.
You want to go back down? Okay, let's go back down.
The speed is not reduced by half from the grappling because there's no weight. So it's just pushing essentially. Yeah. So you're able to grab and fly Jade back downwards. And that is, that's your turn. You have a bonus action still.
I'm going to bonus action re-up those temp hit points on everybody, and I'm going to use that rest of my movement to move another 60 because I just did the bonus action.
Okay. Oh yeah, great. So
Yeah.
everyone, you all gain your 5 temporary hit points back, and that's going to move us next in initiative to Jade. Jade, there's a moon that's flying down towards the roof where you are.
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
We're asking that quick question. Quick check. How close does he have to be in order for me to see if I can make it fall asleep?
For the sleep spell, is that the thing?
Yes. Yep.
Sleep spell, I don't know the range off the top of my head. Do you have the spell on your character sheet?
Yes, I do. Give me a moment. I'm
Yeah,
looking.
if you want to just throw that up.
Looking. Let's see.
Oops.
Um,
The range is 90 feet with a radius of 20, so 110 feet away. So
okay, yeah, you could cast sleep
Cool.
on the moon right here. I'll tell you this, the moon hasn't been damaged yet, so it might be a little tough to get him on hit points just right now.
Yeah.
Just as a word to the wise on that one.
Okay, fine. We won't do that. We won't do that course of action. How close am I to that Jack in the Box?
The Jack in the Box went back in the box. It seems that it was talked. The scary doll was talked down by Tzi'jixk.
Okay, then in that case, I'm gonna hold and see what everyone else does.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us around to the moon. The moon continues to kind of fly downwards, and you see it's moving towards the house at kind of an accelerated pace now, and no longer kind of frightened. It starts to pick up, and you see it getting big very, very quick. Very quick. And then it crashes into the roof. And as it does, the entire house, you feel it kind of shake. The ground around you is kind of knocked away and just kind of collapses, and the whole space becomes this kind of rotating, whirling whirlwind of wood scraps and the various things from around the attic. The doll on the chair, even though it's kind of floating upside down, is still there, just kind of stuck to the bottom of it, regardless of the way it's spinning. The toy chest is there. All this stuff is just now flying around in what seems like the entire world, which is now turned to this zero gravity state, as the moon has crashed into the house and seemingly destroyed it from your perspective here. Above you, you can see the sky and the shadows kind of pushing down towards you, and the moon that's its hole. It dashes to get down into the space and basically destroy the house. I need all of you to make me dexterity saving throws as your world is torn up, essentially here.
Could that interact
advantage.
somehow with me using my protection fighting style to stick with the doll, or to somehow protect or be with the doll during that?
If you succeed, I'll say that you've kind of like held on to the doll's chair and are still with, and you have held on to the doll's chair, I think is a way to do that. 6. Unfortunately, however, you do take the full brunt of this. All of you take half, except for Tzi'jixk, who takes the full 13 miscellaneous piercing damage as wood shards fly everywhere. The wood kind of courses around the space. You had a ready to action. Do you want to make your attack as the moon crashes down towards you,
You
Jade?
take
Yep.
1
You
damage,
take
right?
half.
One
So you take 6.
damage because our temporary hit.
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way, sure. Go ahead and make an attack as you had a ready to action. 22. Yeah, absolutely. Roll damage on that. And there are allies in play because the moon's so big. And now that you're in kind of range of it, it doesn't seem to be, it's not as moon-sized as it initially looked, but it is a huge kind of sphere of rock and shadow with this terrifying, glaring face.
What do I do?
That's 22 points of damage as you stab up into the moon. Right before it crashes down, you duck out of the way and avoid the rest of the shrapnel. As we move now to you, Tzi'jixk, there's a terrifying moon and everything seems to be spinning around it in orbit now on the top of the house.
Friend! How far away is Friend?
Friend is probably, I think you're both like spinning now in this strange orbit around the moon, and I think they're like 15 feet ahead of you in the rotation around it. The only one that's not spinning currently appears to be Freddie, who is there just hovering and staying safe with their fly spell.
Is there a way I can bunny hop off of a piece of floating debris?
To get
15 feet?
To get to the doll, or to get to the moon?
Doll.
Go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice. You have advantage because you're bunny hop, I'll say as well. 16. You kick off of a wardrobe that's kind of spinning past you, and you rocket your way over to the doll.
Friend, how are you?
I am okay. Everything is spinning.
We're in trouble, friend. How can I protect you? How can I help?
And is there anything else that you wish to do on your turn?
No, if that was my action, then
it wasn't your action. You still have an action, I will say.
Oh. Then what I would like to do is I'll take I'll just take a defensive stance.
Okay. And the doll kind of responds as it goes to the doll's turn is, you don't have to protect me. I'll protect you. And the doll's going to kind of look upwards, and you just see this kind of wave of energy course upwards and towards the moon, as it's going to use a mind blast on the moon.
Oh my god.
And the moon is going to make an intelligence saving throw, which it succeeds.
Damn.
And so it is not stunned, and I think it takes no damage. The moon is also very smart, but you watch as this kind of like, it just looks like a wave of force flies out in the sky towards this creature, but the moon is completely unaffected. And that's all for the doll's turn. And that's going to bring us next in initiative to Mr. Happy. What do you want to do?
Okay, this'll work. Wood. Should I? Yeah. How much wood could a woodchuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood with, say, a catapult.
I did not think that was where that was going. Pretty good. All right, it's gonna make a dexterity saving throw, which it critically fails. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
That was good, right?
You got me. 7. Oh wait. 3d8. Yeah.
Is it 3d8? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So. That would be 10.
I'll give you the 7. I'll give you the 13. Okay. So 15 points of damage. As you kind of throw the log upwards and into the moon, it crashes into it. You can see it kind of like it like almost sticks in one of the eyes. It gets a good angle, and the moon goes, whoa! It does not seem happy about it. And that's going to bring us next initiative to Freddie. What do you want to do, Freddie?
Well, it's actually
You're the only one that has a lot of control here.
To make everybody move.
Okay.
So everyone gets their 5 temporary hit points back.
Is this your last one?
It's my last one. Okay. And I'm gonna like position myself as a jump off point, so when they use their reaction to like move, they're gonna be able to use me as like a jump.
Who do you want to position yourself for? Because everyone's in like a different spot.
I'm still grappling Mizra's character, right?
Yeah, I guess that never stopped, so there's no reason for that.
So I'm just gonna move over to where V-Bunny's character is.
Okay.
And I'm gonna position myself to be a jump-off point for those 2 characters.
Excellent. Do you guys both want to do that?
Yes, but instead of going forward, I'm going to. How far is the moon from me at this?
You guys are in an orbit about 30 feet away from it.
I'm gonna move away from the moon. Don't get me moved.
Okay, so you're gonna try and like push back away from the moon circle. Yeah, you just do that. You push off and you begin to move backwards if you're not like looking for a specific target.
Before I let them jump off me, which of the two looks more hurt? How much health are you missing?
I think. I mean, make a call, but because Jade, do you want to jump off and go towards the moon?
I'm
Or not away from the
going.
moon?
I thought I was already at the moon. We now already hit it.
Well, you got kind of like thrown away as the battles shifted into this strange, like orbiting state.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm going toward the moon.
Okay. You kick off and you move away. Go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics, your choice. 21. Yeah, no problem. You kick off and kind of lively dodging the rubble as you get closer. You actually land on the surface of the moon, and there's this like shadowy energy that's coursing up around you. And Freddie, anything else on your turn? You actually somehow still have an action.
I'm gonna make that call since they're going towards the other. Before they leave my embrace to go towards their fate with the moon, their moonlit dance. I'm gonna tap them for one good old level 3 cure wounds from my mandolin.
All right. You cure wounds
For 20.
for 20.
On
You gain
misses.
back 20 points of health, Jade. So I imagine you're back to full.
Yeah,
As we move next in initiative 2, it is the moon's turn. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's Jade. It's your turn. You're directly on top of the moon.
In that case, eeny, meeny, miny. Do I want to eeny, meeny, miny, mo? Short sword.
All
There we
right,
go.
roll damage on that. You have advantage on the attack because you're literally on it and you're just stabbing downward. It's super easy.
Quick question. Do I get sneak on that or no?
Yeah,
Or no
with
one's supposed.
advantage you do.
Yeah.
It's 20 points of damage. You cut into it once again. Oh! And you can see some of this black shadow starting to pour its way out into the side of the moon. Anything else on your turn?
Can I
Offhand
disengage?
attack? You going to attack with another short sword?
In that case, no. I would attack again.
15 will also hit, just barely. Roll damage. Not sneak attack, just the, yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well,
It shouldn't
nice.
have the +3, but that's 26 in total that you deal as you stab twice. The moon still looks like the moon, but there's like shadow leaking out of the space in which you kind of stabbed into it, and it gets to the moon's turn. The moon is going to roll. All right, it's going to roll a whole bunch of stuff. First, it's going to look towards you, Tzi'jixk. I would like you to make me a wisdom saving throw. Tzi'jixk, you fall asleep kind of in your chair next to your new doll friend. I would like you to make me a constitution saving throw, Mr. Happy.
Oh, okay. No problem. Oh, no, hold on.
Do you
Hold
have a
on.
thing for this? Well,
I do have a thing for this, but I'm not
What's
going to
your
use
thing?
it.
Okay. In that case, you suddenly find your body locks up as you become paralyzed, and then
I failed the saving throw. Now I can do a thing.
okay. It's
Plus
going,
4.
This isn't an attack. This is just a save. So.
I know it says or plus 4 to the saving throw.
Oh, okay. So you're bumping it up to a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 unfortunately will still fail the saving throw. That's going to bring us to also Freddie, I need you to make me a strength save. 4. All right, you get thrown and kind of pushed around, and as you get thrown back into like the swirling rubble around you, you are going to take 12 points of miscellaneous bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
All right, let me roll that con save to see if fly's still up.
You are still
is.
good. You're still flying, but you kind of get battered and bruised in this moment. And that's going to bring us around to Tzi'jixk. You are fast asleep at the moment. The doll is going to use their action on their turn as it gets to the doll. Tzi'jixk, you just kind of hear, "Wake up!" And your eyes kind of startle and snap to as they're going to use their action to shake you awake as a strange psychic force seems to push and kind of wiggle you around. That's going to bring us next to Mr. Happy. You are currently paralyzed. At the end of your turn, you can make a wisdom saving throw to try and break out.
Is it a wisdom saving throw or a constitution?
I'm sorry, a constitution saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, you snap out of it, your body reflexes, but unfortunately that is your turn as we move now to Freddie.
All right. I just took some damage, which means that, of course, I have to heal myself to full. Let's see here with my action.
You cure wounds yourself, you gain 9 points.
That heals me to full. Thank you, Freddie.
Right.
No problem. All right.
Nice. And then
I'm going to move myself, flying, of course, towards our friend by the doll, the Paladin, and say, "Do you need a ride anywhere?"
I look back to the doll.
The doll can't look or react.
Okay.
It's just sitting there.
No, it's fine. Leave me here. I have a plan.
All right. I hope to see your plan in action anytime soon. Head on over towards the direction of the moon.
Okay, so you're getting a little bit closer. Not like, where you got pushed back. You kind of zip in closer. I get you. Yeah. In that case, Jade, you're still on the moon. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna attack.
All right. 12 will unfortunately miss. You stab in and your blade kind of gets caught at a weird angle. The surface of it still has some physical presence. It's not enough to push you away. But you want to make an offhand attack as well?
Yep.
Yeah, swing away. 20, roll damage. Good to know. Thanks, Benny. And sneak attack as well.
Oh, wait. Dang it.
All right, 20 points of damage. Woof. You've been doing a lot of... These have been some really good sneak attack rolls as you've been stabbing down into this moon, and more of the shadow is leaking out, and you guys can see its face is starting to look like withered, like it's starting to sink into itself as this shadowy smoke is just pouring out and out of it. And that's going to bring us to the moon's turn, which is going to roll. Already rolled for that one. Jade, I would like you to make me a wisdom save. I would like you, Freddie, to make me a con save, and then I would like you, Tzi'jixk, to make me a dex save. Freddie, you succeed. You take half of this damage. You take 10 points of necrotic damage. Jade, you fall asleep again as the Orate flies out towards you, and then you are going to take Tzi'jixk, you take 22 points of fire damage as an incredible explosion flies out from one of these beams of energy around the moon and crashes into you, and it blasts you in the space. You take a big chunk of
I
damage
am
there.
unconscious and dying.
Tzi'jixk begins to just kind of, float through the air amongst the flotsam and jetsam floating. I need you to make me a con save again, Freddie, to kind of keep flying.
I'm sorry, friend. Blah.
Yeah.
Tzi'jixk is near me still, right?
I have to roll up for that. I didn't recover. Tzi'jixk, you moved back, if you remember. So Tzi'jixk's a little bit away, but you could maybe try and jump over to them if you wanted to. It would be an effort in the zero gravity. That's going to bring us to Tzi'jixk. I need you to make me a death save. 17, you have one success. As we move to the doll, the doll kind of is, you hear just kind of mouth from the doll, who's going to see if they recharge. They do not. You hurt my friend! And the moon is going to make a wisdom saving throw, which the moon fails, and you watch as the moon's face kind of contorts and kind of squinches up in the same manner in which you saw it happen before, what happened to you before, Mizra, as the moon currently has been paralyzed by this doll. That's all for the doll's turn. As we move now to Mr. Happy, what do you want to do?
Well, there's only one thing I can do. You see, I had the best ice pump to tell you, but it slipped my mind.
All right.
Oh no.
13 is unfortunately going to miss. As you make this incredible pun, I wish I could give it to you, but it flies a little bit to the side and ricochets off one of the edges of the moon, not connecting. Anything else on your turn?
Not at the moment, no.
All right, that's going to bring us next to Freddie. What do you want to do, Freddie? The moon's looking
All right, I'm going to
relatively
bonus
beat up. It's
action
also
healing
paralyzed.
word for Tzi'jixk.
All right.
Let me hit that boy with that charisma, and we're gonna tap that. Submit. For 7 Tzi'jixk.
All right, Tzi'jixk, you gain back 7 points of healing, and you are,
No longer dying.
no longer dying.
And then I'm going to fly myself over to Mrs. character and use my action to awaken them.
Good idea. As we move next to Jade. Jade.
And item interaction, draw a short sword.
Sure. Jade, you are now upon the moon. You're awake. The moon is paralyzed, which means your attacks against it automatically hit, and if you hit, you automatically crit. So.
And you have sneak attack.
And you have sneak attack.
Wait, did that mean that I would have hit?
No.
I think it's
Stunned before?
only a melee attacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jade is basically grinning from ear to ear because she's really annoyed about being put to sleep and waking up so dang much. She is a cat, so, she likes to get her cat naps in full. So, swing.
Actually, a 13 would miss, so it hits. Roll damage on that. I assume you want to save your sneak attack to see if you crit with it? All
Yep.
right. 4 points of damage with your short sword. First stab, it strikes in. Roll the next one.
And
Oh,
wow.
Unfortunately, that also misses, but you can still throw the sneak attack at it. All right. Woof. These are some vicious sneak attacks you're rolling. And also the short sword damage, but so that's 20 plus, if you want to roll that short sword damage again. 20 plus 5, so 25 points of damage. That is actually still enough. Mr. Would you like to describe your killing blow on the moon here, even though they were both misses? The moon's unable to react. How do you finish it off here?
she's basically that look that every Siamese cat gets, that really pissed off face that that you literally have messed up. She has that face on her right now. She basically takes both of her blades and basically does an X slash. And then she looks up, and then she looks over to Freddie and says, "Please take me away from here."
All right, as you kind of cross your blades and begin dragging them down, you kind of run a little bit along the surface of the moon as you just kind of pull along and begin to rip a wider and wider hole into this thing. As more of the smoke pours out into the atmosphere beyond, the moon just kind of... The sounds it was making, those terrible laughs from before, become harder and harder to understand and comprehend until it just becomes just this desiccated husk, which just turns into dust and eventually just kind of, seems to disappear, leaving all of you here floating into the night. And
Freddie puts his arms and legs out like a star and eventually floats his way over to the rest of the allies so they can hold on to him.
And as you kind of grab onto everyone, Bartholomew had directed all of you to go up, and Freddie, you got plenty of time left.
Oh yeah. And I also have a backup levitate spell for when the fly spell runs out.
Do you want to go up?
I go up, and
All
I
right.
continue going up, but also I'm going to long strider for that extra 10 feet per turn.
Absolutely. And as the four of you kind of all holding on to Freddie, unless you have your own way of flying that you want to use.
Nope.
The four of you kind of holding on to Freddie here as you move upwards and into the sky. You begin to feel around you as the darkness is kind of like pushing away. You feel it kind of like losing ground. You can see, those of you with dark vision, in the kind of the dim light, even you, Tzi'jixk, in the dim light are able to see darkness and bits of shadow are like chasing up around you, trying to form stars and to try and create the space as you just continue to rocket upwards, now unimpeded by anything in your path.
Meanwhile,
And you
Freddie's humming to himself, "You're a shooting star, no matter who you are."
And Freddie, as you're humming to yourself the song and you're flying upward, you begin to feel the air around you. It begins to grow thicker and more taut, and it becomes like flying through water rather than air. And then the higher up you go, it becomes like flying through sludge as you are straining the illusion to its absolute tipping point. And as you continue ever upward, pushing as hard as the four of you can, all of you kind of in your own way working, cutting, eventually you have to like kind of push and move and drag your way through just the air. That is where we will leave the four of you as you have pushed the above as far as it is able to go.
That's okay, because I can fit through a small space, so I'll get farther than everybody.
What
We'll
do
be
I see
back.
happen to my doll friend?
I will leave that for the epilogue, as I think we'll be back soon with Adventure 2.